Well, hey there, friendships. Welcome back to Curtis's Corner. If you're new here, hi, I'm Curtis, this is my corner, and on today's Movie Monday, we're going to be discussing, for the Halloween season, the new Five Nights at Freddy's film. This is a film produced by Blumhouse and inspired by the video games of great fame. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts and opinions on this film, then keep on watching. Very quickly, before we start our video, I would just like to invite everyone to check out the description box below, where I have two links, one to my Ko-fi, one into my Patreon. And if you join, I will be having these videos up a day early. So if you want to see it before everyone else, click the links below, give me a little follow on there. You get special early access. Plus, you get to also interact with me on there and help decide some future videos as well. Also, don't forget to be sure to follow all of my social media that's been floating around the screen as well, so that way you can stay up to date with anything and everything that I am doing in my life and when a new video is going to be dropping as well. Also, if you enjoy horror, if you enjoy movies, if you enjoy makeup, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I do put out weekly videos, and hit that notification bell so you're able to stay up to date on when my videos all go live. But without any further ado, let's jump into the Five Nights at Freddy's film. So the film is directed by Emma Tammy. It stars Josh Hutcherson, Matthew Lillard, and Elizabeth Lail. This film takes inspiration from the games. Now, to premise this, I'm not a Five Nights at Freddy's game player. I played the game one time. I've seen gameplay of the game. That's about as extensive as my knowledge goes for the game. For the film, what I've heard they've done is they took aspects of the first three games and kind of smashed them all together, taking elements here and there to kind of put into this one film that's supposed to spawn off into a trilogy. I think the acting performance that Josh Hutcherson gives is absolutely wonderful. He gives a great performance of showing frustration, sadness, guilt, anger, fear, a range of emotions that he can get, and that really shows with the star power that he has. Elizabeth Lail, she's decent at being Vanessa in the role that she is given. I think what mainly falters her character is the script that was written for her character. I think the dialogue that she does say can come off a little bit either wooden or just not very believable as someone speaking to another person would say. But showing the path that Josh Hutcherson's mic is on shows a lot of growth for the character. It's a simple storyline from start to finish, but it's an effective storyline. You can see motivation behind these characters and why he's doing what he is doing. As for Matthew Lillard's character of Steve Raglan, Matthew Lillard was very, very underutilized, I find, in this film. I think they could have used him a lot more, put him into more scenes, even if it's not a direct need. I think there were many scenes that he could have fit into, like when things start kind of going weird at the pizzeria. Mike could have easily called Matthew Lillard's character and asked him questions, but instead chooses not to and kind of just goes about his day. So I found that was a little bit of a poor choice there. The backstory that you get for the actual animatronics and how they're alive, why they're alive, I think is very interesting. That's one aspect from the games I didn't really know. Like, I knew that it had to do with children, like possessing them, but I didn't realize kind of how everything was happening. So I did like that aspect a lot. And I think all the child actors involved were actually really good considering they are child actors. It's very hit or miss when it comes to a child actor, and these kids know how to act. The set pieces, the sound design, the animatronics themselves, all very wonderful. The sound design helps create an eerie atmosphere throughout the entire film. The kills, because it is a PG-13 film, you're not able to show as much as something in a film with a higher rating. So they had to get creative, and that was by using certain cinematography, shots, shadows, sound effects, cutaways, and everything like that they could, so that way you can actually get the feeling of evil and pain, everything that involves with things getting murdered. You need to get that visceral reaction even when it's not being shown on screen, and I think they've managed to do that with the sound design perfectly. The set pieces looked absolutely wonderful. When it wasn't in the pizzeria at all, it was fine. It was just your average looking type of film, houses, buildings, whatever. But once we actually get to the pizzeria, the outside, the inside, the lighting, and everything that they use for that really brings brings you into this world and able to really feel like you're a part of the film as well. The animatronics, because it's by the Jim Henson Company, they looked absolutely wonderful. It was very much a mixture of live puppeteering plus suit plus CGI, and it blends everything really nicely together. I will say there are some shots, like with the cupcake. Now, I would say it looked CGI. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the cupcake might have been the only one that was like very heavily CGI'd throughout the entire runtime. Not so much where it's a takeaway and it's sticking out like a sore thumb, but it is noticeable, I find, that he does look more CGI than any of the other animatronics that are in the scene. But I really enjoyed how they ended up utilizing these puppets, machines, and able to cohesively combine all of these different elements to make them really feel a part of the scene that they're in, as well as making them seem very menacing. You can still feel kind of like a darker presence around them, even when you're just talking about them and they're just kind of standing there either off or looking nice when they aren't even doing anything dark or evil. Now, while this film does start off with a slower first act, it does ramp up for the second act, and the third act is decent enough. I will say the third act is a little bit of a letdown with how much you're building up to and leading up to everything, that when Springtrap Bonnie, I believe is the name, comes into play in the third act, it's almost like kind of a letdown when you see how much screen time this character has. And being a major antagonist in the game, so I've heard, the fact that we're reduced to essentially maybe only 10 minutes most of screen time with this character, they could have done this character a little more justice, I find, but chose, I guess, to play it safe, maybe to ramp it up in the sequel, to have them return and play a bigger role in this. But for what we did get, it was fine. It definitely was showing this character to be very menacing and a force to be reckoned with, because they were just not putting up with anything or anyone and not allowing anything or anyone to get in their way. So with all of that being said, I'm going to be giving Five Nights at Freddy's a B-. I think this film is fun. It's a great gateway horror for some kids, especially kids who are loving the games and grew up with them. I think you're really going to like this film, and I think it is an easy film that can fall into the category of other films that you can show your kids, so that way they can start getting into the love of horror as well. So if you enjoyed my review, please make sure you give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I put out weekly videos, and hit that notification bell, because if you don't, how else are you going to know when I post a video? You won't, so do it. I'm now going to go and watch more movies because it's still spooky season. Tomorrow's Halloween, so I will not see you until after Halloween. Sad face is sad, but hope you have a wonderful Halloween. I do have other Halloween content coming, makeup wise. It's just things haven't been delivered because of such a high demand, so you'll be getting that content after. But I'm gonna go and watch the movies now, so take things easy, enjoy your Halloween, stay safe, and I will see you on the next video. But until then, bye friendships.